Hi kiddos, I know this isn't how we thought we'd be coming back to school at the end of March break, but I hope that everyone is doing well and having a little bit of fun at home. We're going to still do lots of learning and hopefully have some fun here on the online classroom. So today we're going to start with something that we were all doing a really good job with before we left for March break, and that is using a number line to solve subtraction problems. If you're looking for our anchor chart, you can find it on our Google Classroom in that class drive folder. They're all in there under anchor charts. The one we're going to be looking at today looks like this, and it kind of explains how we're going to be using this strategy. So the first thing that we need is we need an equation, and you can see that on my board here I have one written, and it's 523 take away 482. Now when I look at this problem, I already know we're going to have some tricky regrouping because we know that we can't take 8 away from 2. So let's get started making our number line. The first thing we need is a number line. So what I would like you to do is follow along with me at home, get some paper or something you can write this on, and let's see if we end up making our steps, hops, and jumps the same way. Don't forget that if your jumps look different than my jumps, that's okay. It just means that you use some different numbers. As long as we all end on the same number, we should be fine. So we're going to draw a nice line, and you guys already know Miss Clark's lines are not always very straight. And we need to start with the smaller number at that end of the line. So I'm going to put the 482 way over there. And at this end, we put our bigger number. So we're going to put our 523 here. Now when you're using a number line to solve subtraction, our goal is to make friendly numbers, to make those jumps and steps and hops so that we get to numbers that are a little easier to use. When I look down there at 482, I think that I could get to a nice even 10 pretty easily, and that's by adding 8. So I make a step of 8, which gets me to 490. That's a little easier to continue forward with. Now, if I'm at 490, I know that a simple jump of 10 is going to get me to 500. I'm pretty close to my answer now. My number line's probably going to be too big. Now, if I look at these, there's a couple of different ways I could jump, but I think I'm going to make a big jump of 20. That puts me at 520. And with that, I know I'm really, really close to 523, and I just need a small jump of a 3. And that gets me there. My number line ended up being just a little too big for this question. That's okay. So now, once we have that all done, we're going to stack these numbers on top of each other. So we will put those over here. So we've got an 8 plus a 10 plus 20 plus 3. Now by making smart jumps, I've made the work on myself a lot easier because I only have these 4 jumps to add together instead of a whole bunch if I'm making little small jumps all the time. That's really important to remember when we're using this strategy. We're trying to make the best jumps we can. So we're going to go ahead and add these up. 8 plus 3, I know that makes 11. We've got to carry that 10 because it's too big for the ones column. Now we're going to add our 10s together. 2, 3, 4. So now I know that my answer is 41. Because when we're using this number line, we're really looking for the difference between two numbers. And the difference is represented by our jumps. So the difference between 523 and 482 is 41. So that's going to be my answer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an equation on the board with the number line, and I'm going to get you to pause the video. You're going to give it a try, make your jumps, find your answer, and then hit play again. Then I'm going to make some jumps and see if we come to the same answer. Again, if we make different jumps, that's totally okay, as long as we end up with the same answer. It's all about what numbers we think are friendly. So if you give me 1 second to erase my board, we'll get right on that. Okay, so now it's your turn to give this a try. I'm going to give you an equation. You're going to pause the video and give it a go. I'm going to get you to try 561 take away 283. There's a little bit of regrouping going on there. Okay, so pause the video and give it a go. Okay, now that you're back, let's see if you made the same jumps as I did. first step, we need to put the small number at that end. And our bigger number at this end. All right, so I'm looking at the 283. I'd like to get that to a nice even 10. So I'm gonna jump 7, which puts me at 290. Next, I'm gonna try and get to another easy number, which I think is 300. So I'm gonna jump 10. That gets me to 300. Still got a ways to go to get to 561. So now I'm gonna jump a really big jump. I'm gonna jump 200. Because 300 and 200 puts me at 500. Then I know I just need to jump 61. And then I'm there. Your jumps may have looked a lot different, so I'm gonna show you another way you could have done this with a different color. I'm gonna go with green this time. You could have started and looked at 83 and wondered how to get to the nearest 100, which would have been 17. If you jump 17, it lands you at 300. Then you may have decided to make that same big jump of 200, which just gets us to 500, and then 61. That's one less jump that you need to add together. So I think I'm going to actually use this blue path as my numbers to add up, because it was my first thought. So we've got 7 plus 10 plus 200 plus 61. So I'm going to start in the ones column. 7 plus 1 is 8. Then I move next door to the tens column. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then I look in the hundreds column and I only have a 2. So my answer is 278. I hope you got the same one. Maybe use different jumps though. So that's all for today's recap on how to use the number line strategy. Attached to this, you should see a new thing called a Google Jam. It's a thing that's going to help me see how you made your jumps. It's kind of like a virtual whiteboard. So when you're done with this video, I'm going to get you to click on it and give it a try. Now it is something new, so if it's really tricky, don't get frustrated. If you can't seem to get it to work for you, because it is a little bit tricky to draw on, just write what your answer is to the question that's on there, and I'll take a look at it. Also, don't forget that later on today, I am having office hours that are coming up, and if you're available and want to, you can click on and we can have a live chat. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.